As we age, our connective tissues, ligaments, tendons, and joint capsules undergo subtle but profound changes that often go unnoticed until stiffness, discomfort, or limited range of motion signals that the system is under strain. Collagen, the protein that provides structural support to these tissues, gradually loses elasticity over decades, and cross-linking of fibers causes stiffness, reducing flexibility and increasing vulnerability to injury. Joints themselves depend on a balance of movement and nutrition to maintain the health of articular cartilage and synovial fluid, which acts as a lubricant and shock absorber. Without sufficient mobility or mechanical stimulation, these tissues become less resilient, and even routine activities can feel cumbersome or uncomfortable. While walking offers repeated cycles of motion, it primarily engages muscles in a linear, repetitive pattern and does not provide the multidirectional stretch necessary to restore or maintain the full health of connective tissue. The stretch in focus is specifically designed to address these age-related changes by targeting major muscle groups and their corresponding tendons, simultaneously elongating them while gently compressing joint surfaces in a controlled manner. This approach encourages synovial fluid circulation, delivering nutrients directly to cartilage and supporting the lubrication of joint surfaces. Properly executed, the stretch promotes micro-movements within the joint capsule, encouraging the fibers of ligaments and tendons to align optimally. Over time, this repeated elongation and controlled tension help maintain or even improve the natural elasticity of connective tissue, counteracting some of the structural degradation that naturally occurs with age. From a biomechanical perspective, this stretch differs fundamentally from walking because it engages tissues in multiple planes and ranges of motion. Walking largely moves the lower limbs in a sagittal plane, creating repetitive flexion and extension at the knees and hips. In contrast, this specific stretch involves subtle rotations, extensions, and contractions that stimulate connective tissues in directions they are rarely challenged during typical daily movement. By introducing these varied mechanical stresses, the stretch encourages fibroblasts within ligaments and tendons to remodel and produce new collagen in alignment with the forces experienced. This remodeling process not only strengthens tissue but also improves its elasticity, allowing for safer, more fluid movement across other activities of daily living. Another important effect of this stretch is its ability to reduce stiffness and promote joint comfort. As connective tissue stiffens, it can limit range of motion, alter gait mechanics, and create compensatory strain on muscles and other joints. Over time, these compensations increase the risk of injury and discomfort. By incorporating controlled elongation and tension into the joints, the stretch encourages relaxation of surrounding musculature, enhances tissue hydration, and stimulates the mechanoreceptors within ligaments that help regulate joint stability. The combination of these physiological effects reduces the sensation of tightness and makes ordinary movement feel easier and more natural, even for individuals who have experienced years of gradual stiffness. Circulation within connective tissue is another critical element addressed by this stretch. Ligaments and tendons have relatively limited blood supply compared to muscles, relying on movement-induced fluid shifts to deliver oxygen and nutrients. This stretch creates subtle compressions and elongations that drive synovial fluid movement and enhance microcirculation, ensuring that these metabolically sensitive tissues receive adequate nourishment for repair and maintenance. Enhanced circulation also facilitates the removal of metabolic waste products that can accumulate in aging tissue, reducing inflammation and promoting a healthier internal environment for connective tissue cells. Perhaps most importantly, this stretch fosters a mindful relationship with the body's connective structures. Many seniors neglect subtle stiffness until it becomes painful, but a deliberate, controlled stretch brings awareness to areas that are tight or underactive. This conscious engagement helps individuals move with more intention, recognize imbalances, and respond to the body's signals before they escalate into discomfort or injury. By integrating biomechanical precision, circulatory support, and awareness, this stretch provides a holistic approach to connective tissue health, counteracting the natural aging process in ways that walking alone rarely achieves. Through consistent practice, the body gradually regains flexibility, joint comfort, and functional resilience, allowing seniors to move with greater ease and confidence. Connective tissues become better able to withstand the stresses of daily activity, reducing the risk of strain or injury while supporting overall mobility. In this way, a single, thoughtfully executed stretch becomes not merely a movement but a restorative intervention, engaging the intricate network of ligaments, tendons, and joint capsules to preserve and enhance the foundation of movement that walking alone cannot fully address. Muscle activation and balance are fundamental to maintaining independence, coordination, and overall mobility, especially as we age. Walking is a familiar and accessible form of exercise, but it primarily engages a limited set of muscles in repetitive, linear patterns. The quadriceps, hamstrings, and calf muscles bear the brunt of the work, while smaller stabilizing muscles, deep core muscles, and postural support systems are often underutilized. Over decades, this selective engagement can contribute to imbalances, leaving certain muscles weak and others overcompensating, which in turn increases the risk of falls, strains, and joint stress. While walking provides cardiovascular benefit and maintains a degree of lower limb strength, it does not fully engage the body's integrated muscular network, which is crucial for balance, coordination, and dynamic stability. The specific stretch highlighted in this discussion addresses this limitation by recruiting not only the primary muscles but also the deep stabilizers that walking often neglects. When performed correctly, the movement engages core muscles along the spine and around the pelvis, activating the transverse abdominis, multifidus, and deep hip stabilizers that provide foundational support for posture and coordinated movement. These muscles play a critical role in maintaining alignment, preventing overuse injuries, and distributing forces evenly through the skeletal system. Strengthening these stabilizers enhances the body's ability to respond to unexpected perturbations, reducing the likelihood of falls or awkward movements that can injure joints or soft tissues. Beyond the core, the stretch activates accessory stabilizers in the lower limbs and upper body. Muscles around the ankles, knees, and hips receive targeted engagement, along with smaller postural muscles in the shoulders and upper back. This multi-level recruitment creates a synergistic pattern of activation, where multiple muscle groups coordinate to support movement efficiently. By strengthening these connections, the body develops better proprioception, the internal sense of position, motion, and balance. Improved proprioception allows for more fluid and controlled movement, giving seniors greater confidence in their daily activities and reducing the subtle hesitations or compensatory patterns that can lead to injury. Balance is not merely a physical phenomenon, it is an emergent property of integrated muscular, vestibular, and sensory systems. The stretch stimulates this integration by combining controlled movement with micro-adjustments that challenge equilibrium. Small shifts in weight distribution, subtle elongations, and engagement of deep stabilizing muscles create conditions for the nervous system to refine its control over posture and coordination. Over time, these neural adaptations strengthen communication between muscles and the central nervous system, improving reflexive responses to uneven surfaces, sudden disturbances, or unexpected changes in movement. Walking provides repetitive rhythm but rarely challenges the system in such a multidimensional way, leaving certain reflexes undertrained and balance potential underdeveloped. Additionally, this stretch supports muscular endurance and functional strength, which are critical for maintaining independence in daily life. By holding positions under controlled tension, muscles learn to sustain contraction without fatigue, supporting activities such as standing, bending, lifting, and climbing stairs. The combination of strength, endurance, and stability reinforces overall mobility and reduces reliance on compensatory movements that can strain joints or soft tissues. For seniors, this integrated approach to muscular engagement is particularly valuable because it addresses weaknesses before they manifest as pain, falls, or functional decline, providing a proactive method to maintain movement capacity. Psychologically, engaging deep stabilizing muscles through a deliberate, controlled stretch fosters body awareness and confidence. Many seniors develop subtle apprehension toward movement due to prior injuries, discomfort, or fear of imbalance. By consciously activating muscles that support posture and stability, individuals rebuild trust in their bodies, cultivating a sense of empowerment and resilience. This mental component is as important as the physical, because confidence influences how freely and effectively the body moves. Through consistent practice, this single stretch not only strengthens and coordinates muscles that walking alone cannot reach but also enhances balance, reflexive control, and functional stability. It creates an integrated network of muscular support that preserves mobility, protects joints, and reduces the risk of falls. The synergy of deep stabilizers, accessory muscles, and core engagement transforms the nervous system's control over movement, illustrating that strategic, multidimensional stretches can outperform repetitive linear exercises in promoting functional strength and safety for seniors. Circulation and neurological signaling are fundamental aspects of mobility, coordination, and overall nervous system health, yet they are often overlooked when considering exercise for older adults. Walking, while beneficial for cardiovascular fitness and endurance, primarily promotes blood flow to the lower limbs through repetitive motion in a single plane. This movement does stimulate circulation, but it does so in a generalized, linear way that may not fully address localized areas where blood flow and nerve activation are most needed. Peripheral nerves, especially those extending into the extremities, rely on precise, targeted circulation to maintain oxygenation, nutrient delivery, and efficient electrical signaling. Without this focused support, neural communication slows, reflexes become less responsive, and sensations of numbness, tingling, or fatigue may begin to appear. The stretch in focus addresses these limitations by simultaneously enhancing both vascular and neural function, creating a more comprehensive environment for nerve health and overall mobility. When performed correctly, this stretch engages multiple muscle groups in a controlled, elongating pattern that compresses and releases surrounding tissues. This gentle rhythmic tension encourages local microcirculation, moving blood and lymph through areas that may otherwise experience stagnation. Ligaments, tendons, and small capillaries benefit from this enhanced flow, receiving essential nutrients such as oxygen, glucose, and amino acids necessary for maintenance and repair. Unlike walking, which relies on repetitive lower limb motion and general cardiovascular activation, this stretch creates targeted vascular stimulation in joints, muscles, and connective tissue that are often neglected. Over time, this increased circulation supports tissue health, reduces stiffness, and mitigates micro-injuries that can accumulate unnoticed in aging bodies. Neurological engagement is equally critical in this process. Nerves do not function in isolation. They communicate continuously with muscles, joints, and sensory systems to coordinate movement and maintain balance. The stretch stimulates proprioceptive feedback by activating sensory receptors within muscles, tendons, and joint capsules. These mechanoreceptors send signals to the spinal cord and brain, refining the nervous system's ability to interpret position, motion, and pressure. Walking, while rhythmic, does not challenge these sensory pathways in a multidimensional way, often neglecting subtle neural circuits that control posture, balance, and reflexive adjustments. By engaging these pathways deliberately, the stretch enhances neural signaling, promoting more precise motor coordination and a heightened sense of body awareness. This combined effect of enhanced circulation and neurological stimulation also supports metabolic and regenerative processes within tissues. Oxygen-rich blood improves cellular respiration in muscles and nerves, while efficient waste removal reduces inflammation and oxidative stress. The nervous system, receiving consistent feedback from active sensory receptors, can adjust signaling patterns to optimize muscle activation and joint positioning. Over time, this dual stimulation reinforces both structural integrity and functional capacity, making movements safer, more fluid, and less prone to error or injury. For seniors, this integration of circulation and neural activation is particularly valuable because it addresses multiple underlying contributors to stiffness, numbness, and decreased coordination that walking alone cannot fully resolve. The stretch also produces subtle systemic effects that walking does not achieve. By engaging large and small muscle groups in a deliberate, multi-directional pattern, it promotes sympathetic and parasympathetic balance within the nervous system. This regulation improves vascular tone, modulates blood pressure, and enhances overall cardiovascular efficiency, indirectly supporting brain health and cognitive function. Simultaneously, repeated neural stimulation reinforces synaptic connections, improving reflex speed and sensory acuity. Seniors practicing this stretch may notice quicker reactions to environmental changes, improved balance, and enhanced confidence in their movement. Furthermore, the integration of mindful breathing during the stretch amplifies these neurological and circulatory benefits. Deep, controlled breaths promote parasympathetic activation, dilating blood vessels, reducing heart rate, and encouraging calm, deliberate neural processing. By combining muscular engagement, targeted circulation, sensory stimulation, and mindful breath, this stretch creates a holistic environment for maintaining mobility, protecting nerves, and enhancing overall function. Over time, It establishes patterns of integrated movement that walking alone rarely achieves, demonstrating that precise, deliberate stretching can outperform traditional linear exercise in supporting circulation, neural health, and functional independence in seniors. The body's metabolic and hormonal responses to movement are intricate, deeply interwoven systems that govern energy utilization, tissue repair, and overall resilience. When we move, muscles are not merely contracting and relaxing, they are biochemical engines, signaling to organs, tissues, and nerves in ways that influence systemic health. Walking, while providing cardiovascular stimulation and calorie expenditure, primarily generates general energy use without deeply engaging these metabolic signaling pathways in a targeted way. The stretch in focus, however, produces a specific combination of tension, elongation, and controlled contraction that triggers cellular responses throughout the body. This precise mechanical stimulus communicates with muscle fibers, connective tissue, and nerves, prompting them to release biochemical messengers that improve insulin sensitivity, regulate glucose metabolism, and reduce chronic inflammation. These subtle, systemic effects make the movement far more than a musculoskeletal exercise. It becomes a catalyst for holistic physiological optimization. When muscles are elongated under controlled tension, they send signals known as myokinase, proteins that mediate communication between muscle tissue and other organs. These molecules influence metabolic pathways, including glucose uptake and lipid metabolism, helping maintain energy balance and improve insulin responsiveness. For older adults, this is particularly significant because aging is often accompanied by reduced metabolic efficiency, elevated blood sugar, and increased susceptibility to insulin resistance. By performing a stretch that activates large and small muscle groups simultaneously, the body receives a biochemical stimulus that walking alone may not provide, improving nutrient utilization and supporting overall metabolic health. Hormonal responses are similarly affected. Stretching under controlled conditions promotes the production of nitric oxide and other vasodilators, which improve blood flow to tissues, enhancing nutrient and oxygen delivery while removing metabolic waste. At the same time, muscle activation during the stretch can trigger the release of growth factors that encourage cellular repair, tissue remodeling, and neuroprotection. These hormones and growth factors contribute to maintaining joint integrity, supporting nerve health, and protecting muscle fibers from age-related atrophy. Walking may increase heart rate and stimulate general circulation, but it rarely produces this precise combination of hormonal and metabolic signaling that optimally supports tissue regeneration and functional resilience. The stretch also addresses systemic inflammation, a primary driver of age-related decline. Aging tissues are often in a state of chronic low-grade inflammation, which disrupts metabolic pathways, contributes to oxidative stress, and impairs nerve and joint function. Controlled stretching produces mechanical stress on muscle and connective tissue that activates anti-inflammatory responses, reducing pro-inflammatory cytokine levels and promoting a more balanced internal environment. This is a crucial difference from repetitive walking, which, if performed without variation or supportive engagement, may not sufficiently stimulate anti-inflammatory pathways in specific tissues. Mitochondrial function is another key area influenced by this stretch. Mitochondria, the energy factories of cells, respond to controlled mechanical tension by increasing efficiency and energy output. This effect supports nerve conduction, muscle endurance, and repair mechanisms at a cellular level. Unlike walking, which primarily relies on repetitive contraction cycles, the multidirectional, integrated nature of this stretch creates varied energy demands that challenge mitochondria to adapt and strengthen. Over time, this adaptation improves muscular and neural resilience, making the body better equipped to handle daily activities and unexpected physical stressors. Beyond the physiological effects, there is a subtle psychological and neurological dimension. When the body experiences coordinated stretching and engagement, the nervous system interprets the movement as a signal of safety, promoting parasympathetic activation. This relaxation response reduces cortisol and other stress hormones, which otherwise impair metabolism, circulation, and neural repair. The integration of mindful breathing during the stretch further enhances hormonal balance, improving sleep, mood, and cognitive clarity. In this way, the movement creates a systemic ripple effect, linking metabolic, hormonal, circulatory, and neurological health. Consistent practice of this single, precise stretch gradually establishes a powerful pattern of internal communication within the body. Muscles, nerves, and tissues learn to respond efficiently. Blood flow and nutrient delivery improve, inflammation decreases, and metabolic regulation becomes more robust. For seniors, this integrated approach surpasses walking alone, demonstrating that intentional, scientifically informed movement can optimize not just musculoskeletal health but the entire internal ecosystem, supporting longevity, functional independence, and vitality at a cellular level. Accessibility, mindfulness, and the psychological dimension of movement are often overlooked components of effective exercise, particularly for older adults. Many seniors shy away from vigorous activity due to fear of injury, past experiences of discomfort, or simply uncertainty about what movements are safe. Walking is familiar and easy to perform, but it can lack the deliberate engagement necessary to foster both confidence and deep body awareness. The stretch in focus is intentionally designed to be safe, simple, and repeatable, making it accessible to a wide range of physical abilities. Its controlled nature allows seniors to approach it without apprehension, offering a sense of empowerment as they experience gradual improvements in flexibility, strength, and balance. By reducing the perceived risk of movement, this stretch encourages consistent practice, which is critical for long-term neural, muscular, and joint health. Mindfulness plays a central role in this practice, transforming a physical movement into a holistic experience that engages both body and mind. As individuals perform the stretch, they are encouraged to focus on alignment, breathing, and the sensations arising from elongation and tension. This conscious awareness activates neural pathways that enhance proprioception, the body's sense of spatial orientation, and strengthens communication between muscles and the central nervous system. Over time, this heightened awareness improves coordination, balance, and responsiveness to environmental challenges, reducing the likelihood of falls and injuries. In addition, mindful engagement helps seniors recognize subtle imbalances or areas of tightness, allowing for more precise adjustments and self-correction during movement. The psychological benefits of this approach extend beyond mindfulness. Performing a controlled, effective stretch provides a sense of accomplishment and reinforces the perception that the body is capable and resilient. Many seniors experience frustration or anxiety when mobility declines, and this can discourage engagement in any form of physical activity. By providing a movement that is both safe and effective, the stretch cultivates confidence and a positive feedback loop. The more individuals notice improvements in strength, flexibility, and balance, the more motivated they become to continue practicing. This reinforcement nurtures a proactive attitude toward health, replacing fear and hesitation with empowerment and agency. From a physiological perspective, the stretch's accessibility ensures that critical systems are engaged without undue strain. Deep core muscles, stabilizers of the spine, and supporting muscles around the hips and shoulders are activated in a controlled manner, reducing the risk of overuse or injury. Circulation is enhanced, promoting nutrient delivery and waste removal in connective tissues, while neural pathways are stimulated through gentle, multiplanar movement. The combination of these effects supports nerve health, improves muscular coordination, and maintains joint integrity, all while remaining gentle enough for seniors who may have underlying conditions or limitations. Furthermore, the stretch integrates breathing techniques that support parasympathetic activation, helping to reduce cortisol levels and calm the nervous system. This dual engagement of body and mind creates a restorative environment, where metabolic, circulatory, and neural systems function optimally. By pairing movement with awareness and breath, the stretch provides a holistic approach that addresses both the physiological and psychological challenges of aging, cultivating resilience, adaptability, and overall well-being. Over time, regular practice establishes consistent patterns of movement that reinforce both functional strength and body awareness. Seniors become more attuned to their alignment, more confident in their balance, and more capable of responding to daily physical challenges. By emphasizing accessibility, mindfulness, and psychological engagement, this single, surgeon-approved stretch demonstrates that exercise for older adults need not be intimidating or overwhelming. Instead, it can be a deeply empowering tool that nurtures the mind, strengthens the body, and protects the nervous system, offering benefits that extend far beyond what repetitive walking alone can provide. The integration of safety, simplicity, and intentionality ensures that this stretch can be performed daily, creating cumulative benefits that enhance mobility, coordination, and overall vitality. As seniors engage with their bodies in a mindful and deliberate way, they cultivate a sense of agency over their health, reinforcing both confidence and resilience, while simultaneously supporting the intricate network of muscles, joints, and nerves that underlies every movement and activity in daily life. If you found these insights helpful and want to continue learning practical, science-backed strategies to stay healthy, strong, and vibrant as you age, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends and family who could benefit, and subscribe to our channel for daily senior wellness tips, nutrition guidance, and simple lifestyle hacks designed to enhance longevity and quality of life. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video that can help you live healthier, happier, and more empowered every day.